The top books for financial freedom and mindset. For years, I thought financial freedom was all about complicated strategies and spreadsheets, stuff that honestly just overwhelmed me. I spent a long time, and I really mean years, telling myself I just wasn't good with money. I felt like I was stuck on the outside of a club, and I didn't have the secret password. Maybe you know the feeling. It's that constant, quiet hum of anxiety that you're doing something wrong, that you're missing a key piece of information everyone else was born with. Then I stumbled across a few game-changing books, and they revealed a truth that hit me like a ton of bricks. The biggest thing holding me back wasn't my bank account. It was my own brain. It was the stories I told myself, the fears I clung to, and my beliefs about money that were keeping me stuck. These books taught me the psychological shifts that you have to make to actually build wealth. They completely rewired my thinking, and today, I'm sharing the 5 most impactful ones with you. These aren't just books. For me, they were turning points. They represent a journey from total confusion to clarity, and I'm going to walk you through that journey, step by step. These are the top 5 books that rewired my thinking about money and taught me the crucial mindset shifts for building real, sustainable wealth. 1. The Foundation. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. The first book that absolutely shattered my old beliefs was Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Now, this book gets a lot of debate, but for millions of people, including me, it's the perfect starting point. Before this book, my entire financial world was built on one idea: get a good job, earn a salary. That was the whole game. The book is structured as a simple but powerful story contrasting his 2 dads, his own highly educated but financially struggling father, Poor Dad, and his best friend's entrepreneurial father who became a millionaire, Rich Dad. The Poor Dad preached job security and climbing the corporate ladder. The Rich Dad taught that the wealthy don't work for money, they make money work for them. The core concept that changed everything for me was the shockingly simple definition of an asset versus a liability. An asset, the Rich Dad explained, is something that puts money in your pocket. A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. That's it. But that simple idea was revolutionary. For the first time, I looked at my life and realized I was an expert at acquiring liabilities. A car payment, credit card debt, subscriptions. I was a pro. But assets? I didn't have any. This was the first time I understood that my salary wasn't the key to wealth, it was just the starting line. The real goal was to use my income to buy assets, things like stocks, real estate, or a business, that would generate more income, independent of my time. It was a total paradigm shift. The book reframed the entire purpose of earning money. It wasn't just for spending, it was for building a system of assets that could eventually support me. It was my first taste of real financial literacy, the kind you're never taught in school, and it laid the foundation for everything else. 2. The Psychological Deep Dive. The Psychology of Money. Once I understood the basic mechanics from Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I realized something else was going on. I logically knew I should be investing, but I was terrified. I knew I shouldn't overspend, but I'd still make emotional purchases. I had the what, but I didn't get the why. Then I found The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel, and it felt like finding a financial therapist. The book's core argument is that financial success isn't a hard science. It's a soft skill, where how you behave is way more important than what you know. Housel brilliantly explains that we don't make financial decisions on spreadsheets. We make them at the dinner table, in moments of fear or greed, driven by our unique life experiences and emotional baggage. This book gave me permission to not be a perfect, rational robot. It explained that we all have a different relationship with money because we've all had different lives. What seems crazy to you might make perfect sense to me based on my past experiences. One of the biggest takeaways for me was the idea that getting wealthy and staying wealthy are 2 completely different skills. Getting wealthy might require taking risks and being optimistic. Staying wealthy, however, requires a bit of paranoia and the humility to know you could lose it all. Reading this helped me get over my fear of investing. I realized my goal wasn't to get the absolute highest returns or be the smartest person in the room. My goal was just to earn pretty good returns that I could stick with for a very long time. The book champions consistency over flashes of genius. It taught me that time and patience are the most powerful forces in building wealth, way more than a high IQ or complex charts. It showed me that the real secret weapon is managing my own psychology, staying calm during downturns and being patient during the long, slow climbs. This book was the key to understanding my own behavior and finally feeling in control of my financial emotions. By the way, if you're finding this valuable and seeing how mindset is the real key, do me a favor and hit that like button. It really helps the channel and tells me I should make more content just like this. 3. Making it real and practical. The millionaire next door. So my mindset was shifting. I understood assets and I was working on my behavior. But my vision of a wealthy person was still shaped by movies and social media, mansions, private jets, flashy luxury brands. That life felt so far away, so impossible, that it was honestly just demotivating. And then I read The Millionaire Next Door by Thomas J. Stanley and William D. Danko. This book didn't just change my view, it completely blew up the myth of what it means to be rich in America. The authors did a ton of research and found something shocking. Most millionaires don't live in Beverly Hills. They live right next door, in average houses, driving used cars, and living remarkably frugal lives. The single biggest takeaway from this book is that wealth is not the same as income. We see high-income earners, doctors, lawyers, executives, and assume they're wealthy because of their big houses and fancy cars. But often, they are what the authors call under-accumulators of wealth. They spend everything they make to maintain a high-status lifestyle. True millionaires, the prodigious accumulators of wealth, do the exact opposite. They consistently live below their means and care more about financial independence than showing off their social status. This book was a massive, liberating relief. It told me I didn't have to earn a 7-figure salary or start the next unicorn tech company to become a millionaire. I just had to be disciplined. Frugality, saving consistently, and investing smart were the real paths to wealth, not a huge salary and a high-spending lifestyle. It completely reframed my goal. It was no longer about looking rich, but about being rich and understanding that real wealth is what you don't see. The investments not turned into stuff, the financial security that buys your freedom. For the first time, this book made financial independence feel achievable for a normal person like me. It wasn't a fantasy anymore. It was the result of simple, repeatable habits. 4. The step-by-step action plan. The total money makeover. With the right mindset and a realistic picture of wealth, I was ready to get my hands dirty. But I still felt a little disorganized. I had some credit card debt and a student loan that felt like a ball and chain. I needed a concrete plan, a literal to-do list, to get from where I was to where I wanted to go. If you're feeling overwhelmed by debt and don't know where to start, The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey is your financial boot camp. This book isn't about complex theories. It's a simple, no-nonsense game plan. Ramsey's core idea is his 7 baby steps, a sequential plan designed to take you from crisis to wealth and generosity. The journey starts with baby step 1, save a 1,000 starter emergency fund. This immediately creates a buffer between you and life's little disasters, so you don't grab a credit card when the car battery dies. Then comes baby step 2, the debt snowball. You list all your debts from smallest to largest, ignoring the interest rates, and you attack the smallest one with every extra penny you have. When it's gone, you take all the money you were paying on it and roll it into the next smallest debt. I have to tell you, using the debt snowball was one of the most empowering things I've ever done. Seeing that first debt disappear gave me a huge psychological win and the momentum to keep going. It's all about behavior modification, not complex math. The plan is built to keep you motivated. After you're out of debt, you build a fully funded emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. Start investing 15% of your income for retirement, save for your kids' college, and finally, pay off your house early. This book gave me the exact roadmap I was missing. It took the chaos of my finances and turned it into a clear, straight path. It got rid of the anxiety and the what do I do next fatigue. It showed me exactly how to build a solid financial foundation, one manageable step at a time. 5. Aligning wealth with life. Your money or your life. So I had the foundation, the psychology, the realistic picture, and the action plan. But one final, crucial piece of the puzzle was still missing. Why? What was this all for? Was the goal just to watch a number get bigger in a bank account? The final book that tied everything together and gave my financial journey a soul was Your Money or Your Life by Vicky Robin and Joe Dominguez. This book is different. It's less of a how-to and more of a why-to guide. It fundamentally changes your relationship with money by linking it to the most precious thing you have, your time, or what the authors call your life energy. The core idea is to figure out your real hourly wage. Not just what your boss pays you, but what you actually earn after you factor in all the time and money your job costs you. Commuting, work clothes, stress-related expenses, the time you spend just decompressing. When you see that number, you start thinking about your purchases differently. That £100 dinner isn't just £100, it's 5 hours of your life energy. Is it worth it? This book makes you track every single cent that comes in and out of your life and ask a simple question for every purchase. Did I get fulfillment and value in proportion to the life energy I spent? This isn't about depriving yourself, it's about conscious alignment. It's about making sure your spending actually reflects your values and brings you real happiness. This book was the capstone of my journey. It elevated the goal from just financial freedom to something much bigger. Life freedom. The point wasn't just to be able to quit your job, but to have enough income from your investments to cover your needs, so you could spend your life energy on things that truly matter to you. It's about reaching the crossover point where your passive income finally overtakes your monthly expenses and you are truly free. This book made sure that my hunt for wealth wasn't an empty one, but a path toward designing a life of purpose, fulfillment, and genuine choice. So there you have it. The 5 books that took me on a journey. As you can see, the common thread here isn't about picking stocks or extreme budgeting. It's a progression. It started with changing my core beliefs with Rich Dad, Poor Dad, understanding my own brain with The Psychology of Money, seeing what real wealth looks like with The Millionaire Next Door, getting a solid action plan with The Total Money Makeover, and finally connecting it all to a life of purpose with Your Money or Your Life. You can read all these books, but real change doesn't happen from just reading. It happens when you take one key lesson, just one idea that really clicks with you, and start applying it today. That's where the transformation begins. Now I want to hear from you. What's the one book that changed your financial mindset? Drop the title in the comments below. I read every single one, and I'm always looking for my next great read. If this video helped shift your perspective, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the next one, where we'll go even deeper into building wealth from the inside out. And of course, I've linked all the books I mentioned in the description for you. Full disclosure, some of those are affiliate links, which means I might earn a small commission at no extra cost to you if you decide to purchase. But it's a great way to support the channel and our mission here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.